Greetings. This tool that we're going to be using will be called the Smart Shape tool. The Smart Shape tool comes with a floating palette. Alright, this is the floating palette. You can place it where you need to. Alright, I usually place it right below my main tool palette. And it enters things such as your slurs, the crescendo, trill, extension for the trill brackets, all of these symbols there. It gives those symbolisms in your score. So I'm going to drop in slurs. So you double click on it and you mouse press, you keep it down. And as you drag across, you realize that the note that it is going to stop at is highlighted. I want it just to stop there. So remember, it's double click. If you double click and release, it goes directly to the next note. If you double click and keep the second click as mouse press, meaning you keep it down, then you can pretty much decide up to which note it would go. Alright, so that's how we enter in our notes. Alright, I'm gonna go back to my staff tool and just drag this up to the top. Alright, gorgeous. And I'm going back to the Smart Shape tool. Now the Smart Shape tool does come with a drop down menu bar which helps to do things such as like the direction. Alright, so you wanted to change the direction at which the slur is at. You want to attach it to the notes or to beats. Well, I prefer to attach it to the notes. Alright, it gives you things in terms of the contour, the placement. Of course, with the placement, it gives you how far away it should be from the note head, and those are some really scientific things, as I would say. Alright, but you can manually adjust them. Right, so you could select whichever option that you want for these tools, and you select the symbolism from the tool selection dialog, which would give you the picture that you would want to use. Right, you can even create these. I'm not going to get into all of that fancy stuff, just the basic ones that we have in the palette. Alright, so that's what the drop down menu affords one to do. So I'm just going to keep on putting in the slur marks here. So you see basically how it works. It's just a matter of clicking. Alright, now for each, you can shape it accordingly so that you get the desired shape or the desired height that you would want. So the handles are what support you in doing it, and you would just have to move your mouse over the handle, and then when the design of the shape comes, which is the oval, then you click, because that is when it would be lined up properly with it. Alright, so experiment with moving them around and placing them. So that's the slur tool, the crescendo tool. You have the cursor, it's pointing up. This means that we're going on the soprano recorder staff or the link to that staff. Now it's pointing down, it will go to the alto recorder staff or the link to that staff. You simply double click with a ending with a mouse press and drag. Right? Now you are given different angles. The top one open the angle at which the crescendo sign is at, right? So it does. This is a mover tool which moves or extends it. So just look at your cursor positions to symbolize the different things. The middle angle bracket actually moves it. Okay. And this arrow here allows you to extend it in that direction. So the rightmost part extension to the right, leftmost part extension to the left. This has to do with the angle, and this is the position of it. Right? So there we have putting in our decrescendo sign, and anything that works for the decrescendo works for the crescendo as well. So remember, when you're putting in, if you just double click, nothing will happen. You have to double click and drag at the same time. Okay? Double click and drag. Okay? Alright. Now once you put it on one staff, no matter where it won't reattach itself. So to ensure that you put it on the staff that you want to have it on and align it accordingly. Okay. So looking at a trill, you can just double click the trill. Same thing will happen. Will not place. You have to double click and keep the press and then drag. While dragging, the extension would continue. So up until where you want your extension to be, you can do so. You can also place the extension by itself. I've used the context menu a while ago to bring up this dialog, and we are going to delete it. Okay, so that's a thrill, and pretty much the guitar bend, the glissando works pretty much the same way. So you place the glissando sign from one note to the next. Right. Sure there is anything else. So that's a Smart Shape tool, and these are the different symbols that we would want to enter into our music to give the performance directions